Crash. That's Crash. And I say hello. It is Tuesday night, and now is the time I usually do Tune In Tuesday. However, with my first ever retreat happening this past weekend and trying to recover from that and still work a full time job, I just could not make a Tune In Tuesday class happen. But that doesn't mean that there aren't things to talk about and to share with you. So I plan on giving you some tips tonight, talking about clearance rack and last chance items, and showing you some items coming available in just over a week with the launch of the new catalog. So I'm just going to give people a little bit of time to come on. You can see a little bit of the mess right there. I did unpack a lot from my retreat, but then I started creating a little bit and it got bad again. But baby steps, people, baby steps. One of the tips I should share with you is you should clean as you go. And that's a tip that I can tell you with zero moral authority. I know it's something I should do. Ooh, I got a piece of hair sticking out here somewhere. It's something I should do. It's just something I don't do because I don't know. I get distracted. But anyway, let's, even if you're watching the replay, that's okay. Go ahead and chime in on the replay. Give me a little heart or a thumbs up if you're watching, whether it's live or replay, and let's get started. So I want to share a couple of tips with you, and I have them written down so I don't forget. Some of the tips will be just me talking, and some of the tips will be me showing you a few things, including one thing I shared with plenty of people at my retreat. I've shared it before, but if you didn't watch that video, then you wouldn't have seen it. So let me share just a few things. First of all, sometimes you have great card ideas and you execute them well, and then you send them, and then you forget about them and what you loved about them. So I would encourage you to take a photo of your cards. That way it takes up less room. It only takes up room on your camera or your computer. And you can certainly store them in Google Drive or in the cloud for ease there. And you can organize them by stamp set if you want to, or by technique, or both. So that's a really good tip, because let's face it, we all get in a rut. And when you're in a rut, it's hard to be creative. And so sometimes you just need a little bit of a spark. And a photo might do that for you. Now, a second thing is related to our upcoming catalog, and I'm going to show you the front of it. I can't show you inside yet because it hasn't gone live. But one good thing to do as you are kind of switching over catalogs, if you will, is mark what you have already. I can't tell you the number of times I've had customers say, "Ooh, I already had that and I didn't know. Does anybody need an extra whatever?" In fact, it just happened at the retreat this weekend. And so if anybody needs an extra double oval punch, I think I know a teammate who would be willing to work out a trade with you. That is on the retiring list, by the way. So mark your catalog. So you go through, and again, I can't open this up for you to see. I can open up for me to see, and I might look through here and I say, oh, I have this stamp set, so I'm going to put a little check mark. That way, when I take it somewhere and I'm placing an order, I don't have to think, did I really order that, or did I just think about ordering that? Another thing is when it comes to buying ink pads. Now, we're about to have some new in colors, and I'm going to show you them right now. Let me just excuse myself and reach over here to my ink pad holder. And these are our 5 new colors. So we have Summer Splash, which is a bluish green, a little bit more green than blue. We have Shy Shamrock, which is a light shamrock green. And we have Pretty in Pink. Now, some of you may recognize this. We did have it before. And this is Peach Pie, which is a little bit of a darker shade than the old apricot that we used to have. And there are a couple of apricot items in the clearance rack right now. And then Petunia Pop. So when it comes to the new catalog and you want to add one or more of these new in colors to your collection, buy the refill that goes with it. And there's a lot of reasons why. First of all, if you don't buy it when you buy the ink pad, you're not going to have it when you need it. This invariably happens to me. Now, I don't have the refills of these because demonstrators weren't allowed to put them on their pre-order. But as soon as they come in, I'm going to buy the ink refills because I can't tell you how many times I've thought this ink pad needs to be refreshed and I couldn't refresh it. And it takes a week and a half when you live on the East Coast to get it. So that's one good reason. Another good reason is dye lot. So when they make the ink to fill the pads, they're also using the ink at the same time to do re-inkers. And so if you, dye lots always differ a little bit. So if you want a great match, order them at the same time. Now, so that's a really good tip, I think. Another thing about storing markers, you want to store them on their sides. So whether it is a Stampin' Right marker or a blend, you don't ever want to stand them like this. You don't even want to put them in a holder that puts them at an angle. You want to store them horizontally, so laying flat. And that just creates equal distribution. And honestly, if you don't use some of them for a while, I would even rotate them a little bit because the ink's going to settle in the barrel a little bit differently. So just take care to keep them flat. Otherwise, you're going to have one very wet end and one very dry end. And rotate them a little bit if you don't use them all that much. Because otherwise, it might be a little funky when you come to, right? Right, Crash? He's not paying attention. But he's taken really to sitting on the back of my chair all the time now. It's kind of weird. It's scary sometimes. I'll be doing some work and all of a sudden he jumps up and startles me. Anyway, another thing that I have shared before, and let's see if I had one out. Here it is. When it comes to fun folds, and I saw somebody at the retreat bring her fun folds with her. And when I had done, I think it was a little over a year ago, I'd done a fun fold class. I should probably have to do another series of those. But when I did that and people made a purchase as part of the class kit, I provided them with this kind of template. So this is a bridge card. I mean, I didn't name it on here, but that's what it's called. And I have all the measurements written. And then the directions are on the back. And that way I can kind of look at this and see my measurements all at once. Because if I just wrote down bridge card and took a picture, you might not be able to tell what it does. Because everything looks flat when it's like this. But if you have the template to play with, then you can see kind of where things go and what happens. So I think that is a great tip. And so this this person at the retreat, she had her box of things to work on, of unfinished projects, unfinished classes, and she said, but I don't have the directions. Do you happen to know, which tutorial this was? And I didn't, but I said, but look, the measurements and the directions are on this template that you were given. So she had it with her after all. Storing your paper and scraps. Who has a lot of scraps? Okay, I don't have as many scraps as a lot of you do. In fact, at my retreat this weekend, I had a table of free stuff, and some of it was full sheets of designer series paper or cardstock, but some of it was partial sheets. I'm like, this stuff has got to go. And they knew I was not fooling. And by the end of the day, it was all gone. But I'm like, I'm overrun with stuff I need to clear out. So they helped me. Thank you guys for those who participated in that. But how can you store them? Well, I have two methods, and I'm going to show you both. Here, look at Crash for a second while I go get my different methods. All right, Crash, did you keep him company? He answers to his name a little bit. So the first method is I keep them in the cardstock package that they came in. Now I know that I've got all sorts of colors in here, but this was a mixed package of the new in colors. And so I'm keeping my scraps in there so I know if I need a new in color scrap, I'm going to check here first with all the other cardstock. So that works nicely. If you are keeping your cardstock in a file folder, like a file drawer, and they're in a folder, just put them in there with a cardstock. That's what I always do for my white. And another option is, I do this one as well, I have a hard plastic keeper, and this is 12 by 12, but I could certainly, no, I think this is meant to fit. This is 13 by 12 and 3/16. So it could fit 12 by 12, but I mostly keep things that are less than 12 by 12 in here, obviously. But I do this by color family. So if I'm looking for a scrap of one of the brights, the colors from the brights, I will go in here and check to see if there's anything in there first rather than cut up a full sheet. All right, so the other thing is you can use them. You can make a little strip card where you lay down a lot of strips together, and then when you have all those strips laid down together and glued down together, then you have a nice colorful surface to stamp on. I'm gonna just see if I can get on here. Y'all still with me? Go ahead and give me a thumbs up or heart if you're still with me. I'm saving the best tip for last, by the way. Let's see. Do you like to create, but oh, I know what this next one is. So you like making cards, right? You create lots of cards, but do you ever give them away, or do you give them all away? Or are you swimming in cards like I am? Well, you can sell your cards as long as you have the angel stamp on the back, and that just has a copyright symbol and the word Stampin' Up on it, and we do have some in the catalog. I can point that out for you if you'd like, but you can sell them. But there are also lots of great other uses too. I have a team member who donates cards to places like military personnel. So they send them overseas, and military personnel can then send cards back home to their loved ones. And of course, they like receiving cards as well. You can give them to nursing homes. And again, the people in the nursing homes love to get cards, and they also like to give cards on occasion. And they obviously aren't getting out to be able to get cards for other people. You can give them to a local hospital or children's hospital, Ronald McDonald House, all those places where people might have some time and a need to thank people, but don't have the means or time to go out and shop for cards. So there are all sorts of those kinds of things. Oh, and churches are a good idea as well. You can, like my church, we send cards to people for special occasions, people that get married or have a baby. We also send condolence cards when someone passes away, or if someone's sick, we do something to encourage. And we send lots of thank you cards. So churches also can benefit from them. And of course, the last thing is, don't forget you can gift them. Put a bunch together and give them away. People love to receive gifts. When my kids were in school, one of my kids was probably second grade, I gave a box, a good sized box of beautiful cards to his teacher, and she said for years that that was the best gift she ever got. So teachers need them as well. Now, if you've ever been to my in-person classes, you can probably figure out what I'm going to tell you about the paper pumpkin boxes. Again, let me grab one. Okay, so if you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you get a box like this. If you are somebody that has done a kits collection kit, it's the same box, only it's a craft brown. But this will hold card supplies. So for instance, I haven't unpacked from last night's class, card class. So it's got the cards that we made. It's got the stamp set, but this held the supplies for one of the cards. And so it was a great way for me to just pack and make sure everything was all together to go on that card table. I usually set out 3 different cards. People make 2 of each. And so all they had to do is grab an envelope packet from the box and create with it. So you don't have to throw away these paper pumpkin boxes. They're great for storing projects. And camping season is almost upon us. And what a great way to travel. It doesn't take up much space. And, the paper pumpkin kits themselves make for great camping take-alongs, but you can certainly make your own kit to take along and get some projects done while you're camping. All right, now I said I was going to save the best tip for last. I think it's the best tip, and people that saw it in action at my retreat thought it was great too. So I'm going to have to just clear off my desk for just a second, and then I'm going to turn you down and introduce you to this great little tip. I do have to make sure that I can find what I need. I think I've got it. Hold on. Oops, that's turning you up. Let's turn you down a little bit. All right. Oop, you can see my corn chowder over there. I didn't quite get dinner finished before I had to come live. All right. So I have a clear ruler on my desk. And that's actually not the tip. But I do like having a ruler handy. But it's very much like the ruler that is on a trimmer. Now, the problem though, series paper, let me see, I had some really show you. Let me get out. Oh, here it is. All right. So this crash. Not that crash. This is a crash otherwise. This paper is the Favorite Flowers Designer Series paper that is part of the clearance rack refresh today. It was, honestly, this has been one of my favorite Designer Series papers of all times. Just pretty colors. There's the purple and the greens, and then there's a coral that kind of is in there as well. And then just some pretty prints on the back. Here's another one. I guess I didn't grab one of the pieces that had, oh yeah, here we go. See, this one has multiple colors in it. Really pretty. Love, love, love this paper. But when I go in here, and I'll bring this up to show you, it's really hard to read the measurements right here. But I've got a really simple tip to make that all better. Now, tear and tape. Now you can open up your ruler, or you can just sort of, you can actually take that hand off if you want to. This comes off pretty easily, just to make it easier for you. And you're going to take your tear and tape, and you're going to run it right along the ruler, right along this bottom here. And you only really have to run it until, the numbers stop. Got it in there. Tear it off. And now what you've done is you have put some white behind that, so it makes those numbers stand out. And so now you can see your numbers. So that is an easy way to make your cutter a little bit more friendly to use. And then you just can pop that arm back on and you are ready to go, and you can see your measurements. That is the top tip of the day. All right, now I want to show you some things about the clearance rack. So I had sent out something earlier about the Nourish and Flourish kit, and maybe how that would make a great Mother's Day class. And so I created a flash class, and then it broke, and then it sold out before I could do anything. So I just wanted to call your attention to some other things on the clearance rack. So this paper is still on the clearance rack, and it is really beautiful, beautiful paper. Again, that would make a really nice class. Maybe I'll put together a Mother's Day flash class still using, and we'll make some cards and some pretty gift things for Mother's Day. Yeah, check. I'm going to put that together, and I'll send something out later tonight or tomorrow, provided the paper lasts. There's this other paper that's on there, and this is called Dandy Designs. And I think I called it Dainty Designs last night. That was a different paper, but it's Dandy Designs. And this is an expensive pack. It's $27, but it comes with something like 40 sheets. So it's got a lot of sheets, but look at the fun patterns that you have. This is one of my favorite celebration items as well, because it just had so many fun, springy and summery designs that you could use. And honestly, you can use some of these designs all year round. I think this one was one of my favorites. I can't speak tonight. Sorry about that. I really liked this one as well, because blues and greens are just my jam. Pretty plaids. So you can see now some of these colors, like this color is the mango color. It's retired, so you don't have the cardstock that goes with this, but this looks great on black, gray, goes with lots of other colors. Don't think just because some of the colors are retired, it's not useful anymore. We all know better. So that's a really great deal too. As far as some other things on the list, and I'm going to just I'm on my computer, I'm going to pop up some things and show you. One of the cards that we did last night was this cute little baby card, and this is not from a set that's on the clearance rack list. This is actually a set that is on the last chance list. So if you go to my website, oh, by the way, those nativity dies are all sold out. Some other things that are kind of on low inventory there are the copper and natural ribbon combo. That was from this past fall. That was really beautiful. There's another set of kind of ornamental dies, great for Christmas, that's on low inventory. The white iridescent ribbon is low inventory. The Christmas Classics dies, again, really nice dies for Christmas, low inventory. So there are some other low inventory items. The thing that sold out the fastest from this list was the glow-in-the-dark paper. Most of you didn't even know that existed. I got up at like 2 o'clock and saw that it existed, but I knew it wouldn't last long. All right, so last chance products. So if you go to my website and go on specials, you can also click on the last chance products, and you can see some of them there. And if something is in low inventory, it should say it. But you don't want to wait, because that can change on a dime. But this is one of the sets that is going out. I have a couple of other ones to show you that I'm not sure. I'm going to look as I go along to make sure that they're still in as of the time that I'm writing this. But Rays of Light is one of the last chance products, and it looks like that one's gone, so never mind about that one. Probably, now I'm not, there's perched in a tree, which is going out, but it's really the aspen dies that make this bundle. It's no longer offered as a bundle, but let's see if the aspen dies are still in. I literally, yep, they're gone too. So look, they were just there not too long ago, and now they're gone. So let's try one more thing. I bet the little monkey is still there. Let's see. Little monkey is still here. So the little monkey, you can get a builder punch that goes with this little guy. He cuts out this one, but he was a lot of fun. I did a class for this one. And so he is on the last chance list. Wildlife Wonder, I think this one is still available. This makes a great Father's Day card. Ooh, looks like, oh yeah, this one's still available. This is on sale from $24 down to $16.80. Just some great cards, masculine cards can be made with that. This does not have a die. The Sweet Songbirds. I just did a class with this not too long ago. This one of the cards was with this, and Sweet Songbirds is still available. The Builder Punch, which I don't have the punches right in front of me, but the Builder Punch punches out this larger bird, as well as the wings, 2 wings and a beak. And the punch is on sale at half price. It's only $11. And so there's that. Let me see if I can find the, can't really find the stamp set though. Let's see. I might have to go to a different page to find the stamp set. Oh yeah, it's still available. Oops. That's the French version. I mean, technically, if you just want it for the bird, the French version will do. Wow, I'm surprised if Sweet Songbirds sold out. Wow. All right, well, there you go. Things are going, things change very quickly, especially with this clearance rack refresh. Hard keeping things in. So if there are things that you want, you cannot delay. Do not wait any longer. So the next one that I want to show you is the Sending Smiles dies. They're called Sending dies. This one cuts out the sending in a nice thin little layer, and this one would be the backdrop that you could mount it onto. So that's and it can be combined nicely with lots of other different words. But I think the Sending Smiles stamp set itself might be out. I won't spend more time looking. You can go ahead and look online too if you want. Another package of dies. These are standalone dies. And let's go ahead and look and see if these are, these are the Gorgeous Garden dies. Oops, I pulled up Gorgeous and it came up with lots of Gorgeous Grape. But these Gorgeous Garden dies are normally $42, and they are on sale at about 25% off, I think. So they're $29.40. And these just make beautiful big backgrounds. It adds a lot of texture. So it's just 2 big old dies, and you can cut them into smaller pieces. But this looks really beautiful with some ink blending with your blending brushes. So that is another thing that is going away soon. And the last thing, now there are lots of other things going away, but I'm not showing you them all. The last thing I wanted to show you, and I just want to make sure that it's in before I show you, because things again have been going out very quickly. The exposed brick 3D embossing folder is going, neither is the exposed brick one. Somehow it's not showing me that. So I was going to say that the basics 3D embossing folders, which were online exclusives, maybe if I go to online exclusives, it'll show me. I don't think so. Basics 3D embossing folders. This is when I wish I had a camera on me and a camera here too, so that you could see both of us. But it looks like the basics 3D embossing folders may have sold out. It was 3 for $30, but there are still other ones that are selling out. The raindrops are on sale for half off. They were $9.50, it's now $4.75, and you can always use rain. So that would be a good one to pick up. The time worn type, that's the other distressed one that I really, really like. That is normally $11 and it's on sale for $6.60, so I think that's 40% off. That would be a great one to pick up as well. So just go ahead online and check out some of those things that are retiring so that you don't miss out. Oh, I lied. There's one more thing. The Give It a Whirl. Let's see if that's still in. I'm just typing in my computer to see if they're in or not. The Give It a Whirl dies are normally $39 and they're half off, so they're $19.50. And now these make that kind of interactive card where you can spin the wheel and things show through a different window. But I want to show you that there are some great things in here that are worth getting just for what's in there. And this scalloped circle with the stitching is one, but these 4 little hearts are worth so much. It's always nice to have some nice detailed hearts. They add so much to several cards all year round, for wedding cards, for Valentine's Day, for anniversary. Those make great options. And so don't just think of this as, oh, I don't want to make one of those whirly cards. You don't have to, because you've got 4 hearts that you can use. You've got a circle. You've got a couple of different label dies. Don't overlook that one. That one's a gem as well. All right, I'm going to turn this around for a second. Turn it back to me. Hello, I'm here again. Now I just got to switch this up a little bit. All right, so if you're here and you're signed in, say hi to me. Probably my sister's watching. She always watches, but she never signs in. That's okay. I'm going to show you some new stuff now. So I already showed you the inks. They obviously come in the cardstock as well. But there's also this really, really pretty ribbon. And let me see if I have a ribbon already open. I don't have one already open, so I'm going to open one for you. You ever try to open these ribbon things and get that little plastic off? It's so hard. So hard. I usually try to take my scissors, which are not unpacked from last night's class yet. I really should make it a habit of putting things away as I get them. Right, Crash? I'm going to take my little pokey tool that my teammate made and gave me and see if I can get that off. Okay, success. So this ribbon, you can't feel it, but I can, and it's very thin. Like, it looks like it's a thick ribbon when it's on the spool, but it is really very thin and will tie a really great knot pretty easily. It's a nice width. I think it's 3/8 inch wide, which seems to be a really great width for card making. It just makes a really nice bow pretty easily. So it comes in all those colors. Now, one color that's new that I neglected to talk about is the basic beige, and that comes in a ribbon as well. It's an ink, a cardstock, a ribbon, but it's the new neutral. So this kind of looks like a lighter version of river rock, Sahara sand, some of those colors. It's a little more gray than very vanilla. So if you think about in paint colors, this might be like agreeable gray. You know that it's on a lot of people's walls, including half the walls in my house. That's kind of what this is like. So that's a really great neutral color. We have some fun new embellishments as well. We've got some in color embellishments. So we've got these dots, and they're very, very flat, which I love flat embellishments on cards. And we've got these in color shimmer gems, and they're very shiny. I'm going to show you a card that I made for a swap. And I made most of these at my, oh, that one's not finished. Hold on, let me grab a finished one. So this is a swap card for a coming swap that I have. I have to actually get these in the mail very, very soon. A bunch of demonstrators get together and we swap cards and swap ideas at the start of a new catalog period. And so this is one of my swaps. So I made 21 of these, and I will get 20 back. And the swap hostess gets to keep one for all her work, because it is hard work. So I've used all the in colors here, and I've used a new stamp set, and I'll show you that in a minute. Let me put that back before I lose it. Let's see, I was on gems though. That had some shimmer gems on it. And then there are these, when I saw these in the catalog, I loved them. These are the basic gray and smoky slate pearls. These will look gorgeous on a wedding card. Just because sometimes too much white is too much white, but this just adds a little bit to it. They're really, really pretty. I've never thought gray things would be as pretty as these are. And then there are these adhesive backed pearl trios, and they're iridescent. I can't really tell you what colors they are because of the iridescence, but this one is a little bit of a corally look, and this is sort of maybe like a base of a lost lagoon. And these ones that are hiding up here, I don't know, blackberry slash berry slash, I don't know, purple. The iridescence makes it really hard, but they're very, very pretty. One thing you'll notice in the catalog is it doesn't tell you what these colors are anymore. So that's a little rough, but this one, the name tells you that it's basic gray and smoky slate. All right, and so now let's get to some of the stamp sets. So I already showed you there's this one, Spotlight on Nature, and I think I've showed you this before. It's got some great stamps, but it also has a coordinating, well, it's not a coordinating set of dies. If you get the bundle, you can save 10%, but these are the dies that are bundled with that stamp set. A lot of nesting circles with designs on them. In fact, this swap card uses one of those nesting circles. So it just adds some really pretty design to things. So that's one bundle. My other swap, I'm using the Hearts and Hugs, which I just adore. I gotta switch this up a little bit. There we go. I just adore this set. So cute. And I think I can show you. I haven't fully designed the card yet, but I was playing around on a piece of scrap, and this scrap I think is gray granite, and I've just colored one of the seals and partially colored another seal, and aren't they just so cute? So cute. Really sad story. When I went down to look at the bell buoy, so we had this massive bell buoy that kind of is at the entrance of a harbor near where I live. It broke loose in one of the storms. It's this massive 12,000 pound thing, plus the chain, which is massive and weighs more, probably adds another ton, I don't know. It washed ashore. So everybody was going to look at it. And along the way, there was a baby seal pup that was not alive on the beach, and it was so sad. But I'd never seen a seal pup on Wells Beach. I've seen seals out basking, but I've never seen a seal pup. But of course, you know, where there are seals, there's got to be pups at some time. But anyway, so a little tribute to my seal friend, and I'm gonna do this one for my other swap. But look at, I mean, there's this cute little hamster gerbil. I don't know what the difference is. There's some badgers, there's a little mouse, and there's lots of little sayings and hearts. And if you look at the dies, the dies will cut out the animals, but also there's this long banner, and then there's flowers, some stems and leaves and grass with flowers. But there's also this fun, and this is going to be on my swap card, this fun arch of hearts. Now, when I die cut these, you'll get I think it's 7 hearts that all fall apart. They're not connected in any way. But if I use the negative on here, I can put a piece of red cardstock underneath, and that's where the hearts come through. So I'm excited to try that. I hope that the swap card that's in my head works a little bit. Then there's this background stamp. This is Leaf Collection, and this would make a great little background. Would look great for the jungle, for those of you that have jungle pals. That was a celebration item last time. But you can cut out the individual leaves. These are not hard to fussy cut. But that was a gift that we had. But probably one of the most exciting sets that I'm excited about is this Unbounded Love. Oh, I have some DSP that I need to show you too. So this Unbounded Love has lots of sentiments. And hope is believing in a brighter tomorrow. Love never gives up. Faith is being sure of what we cannot see. Peace makes the world a better place. And then there's all sorts of standard greetings. You are loved. Have a blessed day. With sympathy. Happy birthday. My heart goes out to you. So lots and lots of sentiments. And then it has a die set that coordinates with it. And this die set, if I can get it open, I'm going to show you, is just, it's got some ornate features to it. It's not just label dies. It's labels plus, let's call it that. So if I show you, so you've got a scalloped oval, and then there's a circle that has some stitching. So those are some standard ones, right? But then there's this label die. Don't look at the inside, but there's this label die that puts some leaves on the edge of the label. And then there's this oval that has some flowers on the sides as well. It's kind of like those ornate mirrors from, Victorian times. And then there's just some different kinds of labels. So I'm really anxious to play with that as well. You'll find that on the same page in your new catalog as some of this new paper. This paper is called Thoughtful Journey, and there's just so many pretty patterns and pretty colors. Now at my retreat this weekend, I had an add-on class that used some similar scene papers from the online exclusives line, but those same ones would look great with this. So people that did that add-on class, I gave them one sheet of every design that was in that pack of paper. And then we did some fun folds or fun designs anyways. And I don't know, I think I have them. Oh, I have some of them here. Yeah, let's see if I can get some of them out. Oh, I've got all 4 here. So this was one card we did. And it just splits it up into 4 different, well, it's 2 different size pieces of DSP, but the way it's laid out is a little bit different. And then we've got this one, which is kind of like a double time technique, except for there's no stamping. And then there was this one, which was a fun fold. And then there was this panoramic one too. This was the first panoramic that I'd ever done. So again, different scenery paper can certainly work with the scenes in here. Let me just show you some of the scenes. And they cover a lot of different seasons. So I think this would be more summer, full on summer. This is starting to get into fall. That's a summer one. There's one that, let me see if I can find the wintry ones. Like this reminds me a little bit more of winter. So really, really, really pretty papers. I think that is going to be a massive big seller. And then there are coordinating Memories and More kits. These are a little bit smaller than we've had in the past, but they have similar colors here as to that paper I just showed you. And it's got some pre-printed sentiments on them, so that makes for quick and easy cards. And here's another pack as well. So that's just a sneak peek. Doing a class at the end of a catalog is always a little dicey, and I really just did not have the time. So I just wanted to come and bring you something a little bit different. We are in our last days of this current catalog, so if there's anything from the annual catalog that's retiring or the mini catalog that's retiring that you want, now is the time to order it. If you do, if you spend or if you create an order of $35 or more in my online store, and it doesn't matter what you order, I am going to send you one sheet of each of the designs of this paper and the instructions for this card set. So you don't, upside down, I think. So you won't get the cardstock, etc., but you'll get all the things that you need. Well, no, I can't send the paper and the cardstock. If you want the cardstock and the pieces, the scraps to make these cards, then I will go ahead. If your order is $50 or more, then I will include that as well. But a $35 order or more will get you one sheet of each of these designs in here. So there would be 12 sheets, and I would mail that to you. So I'm going to put the host code in the description of this video as soon as I'm done. And if you have any questions, go ahead and ask. I'd be happy to answer them for you. Don't forget, for those of you who are local or local-ish, that on May 4th, I'm going to be having a new catalog kickoff party from 10 to 12 in Sanford. So I hope you'll join me for that. If you don't have a catalog, you'll get one there. We'll create 2 projects, and then I'll have some displays as well. So thanks for joining me tonight. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Bye. Oh, and I have to wait a little bit because apparently it cuts off if I don't. So have a great night.